So here are three short stories, two shorter, one longer, all about guys who dumped their girlfriends after finding out that after making them wait several months to have a you know what, they found out that guys in the past, guys that were losers and lowlifes, those types, not only did they not have to wait, but they engaged in all sorts of things that they wouldn't give the boyfriends here. And these guys are like, nope, goodbye. But this story makes a point, guys, of how oftentimes when gals will get to a certain age, usually mid-20s, they find that guy who is essentially the nice guy, and he gets the bare minimum with, who they're going to eventually probably marry because he's stable and all that. And you don't want to be that guy. So you guys, if they have the right, because here's the deal, guys, a disclaimer here. If gals don't want to get it on, that's their business. That's their right. But guess what? You have a right, too, to break up with them if those terms aren't agreeable. And especially if you find out about things about them you don't like. First one is titled, "My girlfriend of 4 years admitted that she made me wait 6 months for sex while she gave herself away in one-night stands before me easily." Right here. And by the way, shout out to Mr. Arkansas for sending in this collection of stories here. He says here, basically what the title says, we just had some kinky sex for the first time, which I was trying for years now. It was great, and we started speaking more openly about our sex life, and she told me about guys that she slept with on one-night stands without any dating. 6 months. 6 months, she wasn't ready. And then they get together, and she admits that guys in the past, one-nighters, shocker. Wouldn't that annoy you guys? I didn't think much of it that day, but I can't get myself out of it now. She gave the things I had to wait 6 months for, and also 4 years for all I wanted, but gave it away on the same night to some other men. I feel like the secondary beta guy whom she only cares for stability and money rather than being attracted towards, which is actually true, by the way. That is 100%. The guys that she gave it up for the first night and did anything they possibly wanted, and you can use your wildest imagination there, yeah, they weren't about stability or money, but the beta guy, like he said, at least he's honest with himself, resources, stability. I told her these, and she literally was like she knew I would react this way, and that's why she didn't tell me. Oh, she's making out to be the bad guy here. She told me that she knew I would judge her and all. Oh, yeah, the famous, don't judge me. If you're saying that, then there's obviously a lot of reason to judge you, honey. She knew it, yet she was in a relationship with me and lied to me. I was the fool who thought this woman was something else and got into the kinks because of me, but in reality, she was already that way for other men, but only now after 4 years with me. I am thinking of breaking up and moving on now. What do you guys think? I'm not from the West and will easily get non-hookup girls, and I'm ready to wait another 5 years for them to be ready. I still have some time for marriage. Bro, you're a young man. How old is this dude? 27 years old? The dude can get married for decades if he wants to do that and still have kids. But no, there's no rush. But yes, dump her. 6 months, she made him wait. But then again, he made the choice to wait, but he probably thought he had a great girl, so okay, she's worth it. Well, usually, guys, that's not the case. And right there, nope, get rid of her. Next one. Titled, Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend after I found out she made me wait for sex, but not other guys? See, this is a common thing. So I'm 26, and I've been dating her, another 26-year-old, for a year or so. I hadn't really asked her about exes or S-word history. Smack! You always ask about it, because guess what? The odds are extremely high. They're not going to reveal anything. And even if you ask, trickle truth. I guess it just never occurred to me. But now after this situation, I've unlocked a new insecurity. Insecurity? Is that what she called you? It's not insecurity. I met her off an app, and we hit it off. But she was reluctant to have you-know-what straight away. In fact, she made me wait a whole 2 months to have sex. I just figured she was always taking it slow with guys. Well, you figured wrong, brother. And again, notice both stories here, the girls were 26 years old. Mid-20s. That's when they're starting to look for the guy they could potentially marry. And this is what happens to these type of guys. Well, we had a get-together recently, and one of her friends said that she never thought the day would come that my girl finally got into a serious relationship. That's a bad sign. I asked what she meant by that, and she began blurting out that my girlfriend used to sleep around all the time. At that point, my girl motioned for her to stop talking. Now, Rhett, look, I'm not one of those guys who gets up in arms if their partner, smack, you can tell what he's like. Don't call her partner, she's your girlfriend. Partner has slept around a lot. In fact, I've dated women who have slept around a lot, but the issue for me was that I never thought my girlfriend was like that. Well, newsflash, bro, it seems that they're all like that. Or the absolute majority. Given that she made me wait so long for SCX, I just assumed she wouldn't be the type to have slept around, because that would mean she slept with that people very quickly, yet made me wait. Brother, that's exactly what happened. She saw you. Her perception of you was that nice guy for stability and pay the bills and resources, and the one she can parade around and show us that guy who's going to marry her. That was her perception of you. It never once occurred to me that she would do that to me. So when it hit me, I had to talk to her about it. I questioned what her friend was talking about, and she admitted that she used to sleep around a lot. Basically, she slept with guys that she just met at bars and from apps. I was immediately filled with a kind of rage I honestly never knew I could experience. It wasn't like an explosive anger, but this type of am I really an idiot type of anger. I felt humiliated, basically. Yeah, I can imagine so. You feel like a fool that you fell for that, but at least it's a couple months of his life as opposed to like years. And there's some guys that actually would wait years. Gentlemen, if you want loving and your girl wants to wait for months, you have every right to break up with her. End of story. She's allowed to want to wait. Well, I mean, seriously, that is her right over her body. I will say that, but doesn't mean you have to go along with her plan. I told her then and there that I felt upset that she made me wait, whereas she did it for those other guys. She began tearing up, of course, Hellback Handbook Chapter 2, and tried to say that she wanted to wait because it would make it more special. Then pivoted to having SCX too soon would have complicated things. To then settling on, she wanted to see if I was serious. Come on, women aren't stupid. She knew this guy was in. She knew he was serious. Well, none of those explanations really made me feel any better. I never felt so undesired in my life. I struggle sometimes with a bit of inferiority complex, but I just couldn't get it out of my head how these other random guys slept with her so quickly, whereas I did not. Yeah, and I guarantee you guys can all probably imagine in your head the type of guys that she was more than happy to give it up with, and lots of, special treatment with quite quickly. I just ended up breaking it off, and she called me all sorts of names. Reddit, am I the a-hole with low self-esteem? No. I've talked to some of my female friends, and they think I was harsh and not understanding. Smack, smack, smack. Don't go to girls for advice. What do you expect them to say? I guarantee probably at least half of them have done or will do the same thing. You go to experienced men for advice about women. A fisherman doesn't ask a fish how to catch a fish. A fisherman asks an experienced fisherman. I kind of feel like I'm being gaslighted into believing I'm insecure, but I do not know. The dominant feeling I have is that I wasn't desired very much. You weren't, dude. Go with your gut feeling, and your feeling is accurate. And stop asking girls for advice about things that will impact them. Of course, you're going to get biased advice. And last story, titled, Would I be the a-hole for dumping my girlfriend after I found out about her past? It says, I'm 40 years old, and I've been going out with my girl, a 32-year-old female, since last August. We have a great relationship, generally. I would say the only weak patch in a relationship is, wait for it, SCX. Not necessarily frequency, but quality. I would describe her as very vanilla, and I'm quite kinky. Like only one or two positions, and it took her ages to get naked with me. She doesn't like oral, but conveniently accepts it, though. Smack! If she ain't going to give it to you, you ain't giving it to her. That is a genuine rule that I live by. And you all should live by that, too. But the relationship is great in a lot of ways, so I've turned a blind eye. Smack! Well, you're not happy about it, so that's what you get. Asking her about it, she said that she had a lot of partners before we got together, and when COVID happened, she found herself on her own, so she worked on herself and discovered herself. When gals say they're working on themselves and discovering themselves, usually Chad and Tyrone are discovering their private parts, and they're working with other dudes. She never said how many guys she's been with, but I assumed it was more than me. Well, you assumed right, brother. Which isn't hard, as I've only been with less than 10 women in my life. She said before me she hasn't had SCX in about 2 years. And in that moment, her nose grew like Pinocchio. There's like fucking branches coming off that nose and birds and nests and shit. We've been getting serious lately, and by chance, I introduced her to my foster brother, a 31-year-old male. I've known him for like 20 years, so I love him like a true sibling. Everything seemed okay in the meeting, but afterwards he messaged me and asked to talk. He said he realized he knows where he knows her from. Oh boy. Oh boy. Basically, he said he realized that she was this girl who was notorious, and who, when he and his mates went out, she was a real slag. Basically, she was into everything and everything, including, wait for it, three-somethings, spit roasts, G-bangs, everything. She even did amateur PORN, apparently. He protests that he never effed her, but knows loads of his mates who did. He said the rule of thumb is, if she was out, you knew you'd get lucky, apparently. Good God Almighty, one of these stories. This happens so much. Well, I couldn't get out of my head. Yeah, I wouldn't either. So I asked her about what he said. She basically admitted it, saying, yep, she was that person. She apologized for keeping it from me, but said she was ashamed of it and that she isn't that person anymore. Well, clearly, he had to wait and he's barely getting anything in the sack. Doesn't matter, honey. That's who you were. Your past matters. Since then, I feel really weird about her. I feel basically she's a hypocrite. She doesn't do certain acts or positions yet she did in the past. She once had a go at me for watching PORN, yet did it herself in the past. In terms of her number, it seems like she's well in the triple digits. Holy shit. Damn. She gets mad at him for watching spicy material on his computer or phone, but she was actually in those. Well, she's probably mad at him because she probably doesn't want him to see her. I've been trying to process this, but a couple days ago she tried to have sex and tried to do things she never wanted to do. Basically acted all slutty. I told her stop, and it feels weird, and she got all defensive and said it isn't what I want. I don't know why, it just feels wrong. I can't explain it, but I feel like something's broken between us. I love her, but I can't look at her the same way again. Would I be the a-hole for breaking up with her over her past? Smack! No, you would not be the a-hole, but you're not just breaking up with her over her past. You're breaking up with all the shit that she did in her past, and all the shit that she just neglected to mention to you, getting together, and also making you wait and giving you the bare darn minimum. And remember her finding herself and discovering herself? That's what they call it. So guys, 3 stories, similar situations, happens all the time. Don't be that guy. I mean, okay, you are who you are. But a girl gets together with you and all of a sudden she wants to wait a long time. If you don't want to wait a long time, end the relationship, because you don't want to turn out to be one of these guys here. They had no idea. And a lot of them think, oh, she's just great. She's an angelic being sent down from heaven to me. And blah, blah, blah. No, not in today's world. So send her packing, move on, and learn from this. And remember, guys, they will look for that nice guy. They can find a nice guy a mile, or what they perceive, keyword perceive, as a nice guy, beta male provider type. That's the best way to describe it. They can scan the room and boom, find you just like that. And they'll zoom precision guidance onto you and pick you and jerk you around. Don't go for that.